just as looking outside. See the blank in you. All is gonna outside. Just one way. Just a looking inside. Hell is going outside. Just a looking inside. Hell is going outside. One way. Working down the street, seeing all the girls here. Roam a friendly woman. She is gonna down here. Just a looking outside. Just a looking in you. Just a looking outside. Just a going inside. Hey. Looking down the street long. What is going inside? Working down the street long. What is going inside? Hey, 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 hey. What is going inside? Just is going outside. Look into your inside. Just is going outside. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Just a ghost down, going down for me. Seeing just a ghost down, working just for you and me. What is going inside? Sun is looking outside. What is going inside? Sun is looking outside. saw it's West Side Story. What I saw it's just a ride. What I saw it's West Side Story. What I saw it's just a ride. Hey man, just a ride. Just a ride. What I saw is West Side Story. What I saw is just a ride. What I saw is West Side Story. What I saw is just a ride. A ride. Just a ride. Just a ride. Well, so it's just a ride. Well, so it's just a ride. Well, so it's just a ride.
It comes down to physics modelling, really.
As we see the safety car go down for the last time down pit road tonight. Jason Martin gets a good jump on the inside with Danson coming through for second. And Edward Foster cutting down in front of JCW there. Hopefully make up another position on the start, but unfortunately he's fallen back a little bit. As we see Danson now coming down the back straight and in. Edward move across to that inside line. Danson up in the second from Burlock. And he's now looking at the back of Jason Martin as we go white flag presented to you by Hybrid Racing Simulation.
Oh, here we go.
Burlock coming back now at Matt Danson. Is he going to get underneath? Maybe, or maybe Matt will get the drive off the corner.
I think Josh Martin's sort of security's first place now.
Jason Martin's checked out here as coming to check out here and bit of a touch there.
Oh, there's a bit of a rub between Danson and Scarlett.
Danson. Good Danson.
That has
Danson
opened the
falls
door.
back through the field and then wrecks on the after the checkered flag. Unfortunately.
Well, I saw it's just a ride. Well, I saw it's just a ride. Well, I saw it's just a ride. Well, I saw it's just a ride.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ANZCAR Cup here on JP Simshed Broadcasting. The Britsy ANZCAR Cup is back, and we're here in Texas, and I am back as well, Carl Withy. And joining me tonight for broadcast booth is Jonathan Hancock. How are you going, Jono?
Good, Carl. How are you?
Much better, thank you. Yes, a week away, and I'm feeling much better now. But it's good to be back, and it's looking like it could be a good race tonight. Texas is a pretty tricky track. It's a very fast track. You've got to really be careful on those first couple of corners, don't you?
Yeah, you really got to get right down there on the line and make sure there's a repair patch on the road that I always aim for to hit coming into 1 and 2. So everyone's got different lines, but that's the line that I found the fastest here.
Yeah, it's just getting that perfect little line and just getting it absolutely right. It's just that little bit of lifting as well. You don't want to go full throttle through there, sort of on those just sort of as your tires start to wear, of course. But even early on, it's a bit tricky to go full throttle through those first couple of corners. The second set, the 3 and 4 are not too bad. But 1 and 2 definitely get the car unsettled.
Yeah, I found on the first 1 or 2 laps I could go nearly full 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 always flat.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, and it's one of those tracks that's tricky to drive because of that. It does make things a bit harder and makes it a little bit more tricky because you have to remember that little bit of lift, and then when you get the draft, it makes it even harder.
Yeah, it definitely does, because then you got the upset of the aero on the car, and the aero pushes you, no dirty air, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and that dirty air is something that really affects you, especially the side wash, getting the side draft and things like that. That really does make things a little bit trickier.
Yeah, we may see some single car incidents into the outside wall coming out of turn 2 here tonight.
We may do indeed, and it's not too hot out there tonight. We've got 25 degrees currently, so it's not. But it's if shade falls in the right spot, sometimes it make a big difference.
Yeah, definitely, depending on where the shade falls to, coming into a corner or going out, really affect how you take that corner.
Yeah, and now as everybody starts to line up, we'll start going through our race order. Starts to get back working. So let's get started with the racing order. So on pole, we have a Mitch Motorsport double. We have Josh Micklemore and Jason Martin on the first row. Second row, we have Mirko Dornak with Jason Hartigan. Hartigan has had a great season so far, and if last race is anything to go by, he may be in for a shot tonight. On the third row, we have Danny G with Bradley Allison. Fourth row is Brett Garrett and Lindsay Hobbs. Fifth row, we have Michael Skurlock with Edward Foster. Sixth row is Kai Sloggett with Ryan Jones. Seventh row, I've lost my... It's Mia Otto and Barry Nail. I completely lost my brain number there. Then we have Chris Pennell and Hamish Gallagher. Stephen Williams with Lachlan. Norman Clark with Michael Schroeder. Ryan McCarthy with James Roby. And Dave Douglas down in 23rd with Nathan Clive behind him. Matthew Clurt with Essen Smith. Aaron Mack with Daniel Stevens. Paul Jackson and Raymond Yeager. Bradley Kemp with Robert Fletcher. Kristen Koch with Phil Otto. Matt Hunter, Roger Clark. And then at the back we have Riley Curtis, and starting right at the back we have Matt Danson. So Danson, I'm sure, is going to be looking to carve his way through the field as normal and try and get a good position up in the field today, as he often does.
Yeah, he always is a guy that likes to start from the back and just use his talent and whatever else you want to call it to pull his way through.
Yeah, he really does like to get that start from the rear and build his way up a little bit. It really is his favourite thing.
As we get ready to go green here shortly. Only one lap around.
Yep, and as we go green, as normal, we'll keep our mouths shut and let you enjoy the sound of his engines. We go green. Made a fantastic start there, really getting ahead there. He has done a fantastic job of getting a bit higher up in the order, a bit further there.
Yeah, those Mitch Motorsport guys are doing real well out here.
Yeah, they're having a good run out there tonight, and a team you really can't hold down. Just behind them, you've got Jason Hartigan in the JP Simshed car fighting with Mirko Dortnak in the Illusion car. These two have been running fairly decent this season. Dortnak's had a little bit of been a little bit unlucky in some incidents, but Jason Hartigan has been running up the front a lot of the time. Last week out, he almost got the he was in contention for the win for most of that race until his tyres dropped off. Just a little bit of an update on the Danson sort of situation, wherever he is. I'm just trying to look and find him now. That's the hard part. He's somewhere down there. I did see him making up a lot of positions. He's in 30th place at the moment. So good job for Danson so far. Really good start there. He was just carving his way through the field through that first lap.
Yeah, the fresh tyres will really help him here, as we see Jason really catching the back of Jason Martin here.
Yeah, the fresh tyres are a big thing here. Tyre drop-off is huge here at Texas. Drivers are saying, they're running about 5 laps with grip, and then after 5 laps, it is horrible, and the car is slidey and disgusting.
Yeah, after those first few laps, like most tracks, get that fall off and it's terrible.
Like running on runny egg or custard, some drivers have said in the past. It's very tricky, and then that's what's catching the drivers out, because you'll be fine for a couple of laps. Those first 3 or 4 laps, you drive absolutely fine. There's no problems, and then you come around for your 6th lap, and all of a sudden you turn into the corner, get kind of understeer, end up going up the embankment, and then hitting the wall. So you've got to be very careful in those situations.
Yeah, for sure. It can be very difficult on as your tyres where to let off, come back onto the throttle.
Yeah, you've just got to know when to just accelerate again, and that's sometimes the hard thing. That's where these drivers are at their best. They really have that knowledge, as we see Mirko Dortnak just getting a little bit wide there, and just sliding up the track. Just he comes through with Danny G coming down the inside and getting past the Illusion driver. Fantastic move by Danny G. And our rookie superstar so far this season, Bradley Allison, is up there as well. Having a great year, Bradley.
Yeah, he's one of my picks for the night. He's been practicing real hard and he's always out there. He races in multiple leagues, so trying his best to get experience.
Well, he's doing a good job so far. He's not doing himself bad. He is actually currently 27th championship, which is very good for a rookie driver. It's one of those things that you go, well, that's not too big, but you have to remember there's 59 drivers currently in the championship standings, so he's up in the top half of the field. As we get a car loose at the back, a little bit further back, one of the, I think maybe Kai Sloggett there, just towards the rear of the picture. Kai Sloggett just got a little bit loose there up into turns 1 and 2, I think, and just had to slow down a little bit, but has managed to get his foot back on the gas. But yeah, he's having a great season so far, a bit of a breakout star so far. And then, of course, we've got Jason Hartigan as well, who did appear in a couple of races at the tail end of last season, but he's been having a stellar year as well as the new team, of course, JP Simshed, doing a fantastic job so far.
Yeah, we saw him come out his first race and take a win away in the Thunder Series last year, so we knew that he was competition straight away.
Definitely one to watch, and you get that with some drivers. They're just ridiculously quick out the box, and it's a scary thing when somebody is that quick and you just go, well, they're only going to get better with time. When somebody's got raw talent, it really does throw you off. Just as we're sort of getting into a single line formation here now in Texas, and get a little bit of a leeway, a little bit of breathing space, I'm just going to go through the top 10 in the championship. As we stand. Currently we have Michael Skurlock in first place with Josh Micklemore in second. Third place is Chris Purnell with Danny G in fourth. Fifth place is Edward Foster. Sixth place is Brett Gerditz. Seventh is Matt Danson. Eighth is Jason Martin. Ninth is Joshua Carroll Walden. And happy birthday to Joshua Carroll Walden. Not here tonight, unfortunately, but in the hands one of his teammates. But yeah, happy birthday to you, Josh. And we've got a car going off in the background. It was Lachlan Oglio. He's gone off in the background. Right, big moment for Lachlan there. I think he's actually one that is driving.
Yeah, you talked about the car, and now look what you did.
I've completely jinxed it. Oh, the curse of the commentator strikes again, folks. I'm very sorry about that. Well, not the best birthday present to you, JCW. Lachlan has now given you a very, very bumped up car to polish. And I think he actually just touched the back of Norman Clark, maybe, as he got in there. But he managed to keep the car in control across the grass there, and we have remained green. So just in 10th place, we got Riley Curtis in the championship. But big moment there for Lachlan. Almost an early caution there.
Yeah, and that could have changed the strategy up for a lot of drivers, as we're seeing Denny G trying to go under Jason here.
Yeah, these guys are racing pretty hard, and Jason is just up on that high side, and he should get a bit of a better run here on the straight. But when he goes through those corners, he doesn't want to be up too high, so he might come down and just chop Danny G off on the nose, which he does do. Beautiful move there from Jason Hartigan. Really nice job there, cutting down on Danny G. It's what he needed to do in that corner, because otherwise he would have lost so much speed coming into the oval section across the start-finish line. But pushing Danny G at the moment is Bradley Allison. He is trying his best to get past, and Michael Skurlock's just licking his lips behind them and just making a move now. He makes that move on Bradley Allison. Will he get it stuck in? He's got the lower line, and he's going to make it stick. Brilliant driving there from Skurlock.
Yeah, really good piece of driving there, and I know Bradley always one to let guys pass that are a bit quicker than him.
It's not a bad thing to do when you're a rookie in the season in championship. Now, when we say rookie, it's of course a rookie in the ANZCAR Cup, not necessarily in oval racing, of course, because he has got some experience oval racing. But it is that thing. It's good to just let that faster driver pass sometimes, because then also you're not fighting them. When you're having to fight somebody, having to change your line constantly every lap, you lose a lot of speed. So letting that faster car through, one, gives you the car in front of you just a bit of a draft, and two, means you're not fighting with them, so you're not losing time. So it's not a bad idea to do that sometimes. And as much as because the drivers don't like losing positions, sometimes it's the best thing to do. The better option, so to say.
Yeah, it's not so much you're losing time fighting them, you'll end up using up stuff like your tyres, so better off just letting them go, letting them come back to you in the long run.
Yes, getting that back in there. And I was just looking back a little through the field, and it looks like one of our other new drivers, sorry, words are not working, one of our other rookie has had a little bit of a tangle with Mia Ott, sorry. Just going through turns 3 and 4, just had a bit of a tap, and the front of the car is now a bit crumbled. Managed to keep it well on the line. A fantastic save there. So fantastic save hit it there. Stephen Williams behind them, but they are dropping down the field a little bit now.
Yeah, we're starting to see the pack slowly spread out as this race goes on, and there's only a few drivers that are staying up the front and being able to hang with the fast guys.
Jason Martin just getting very close to the ball bar, and that's giving Jason Hartigan a chance to get down on the inside of him. Great pass by Hartigan, taking that slight mistake from Martin and really punishing him for it.
Yeah, it's something you got to do here with it being a very one line. You've got to be able to use other people's mistakes to your advantage.
And Hartigan definitely did that there. He really did just take advantage of that one and just stole that place from Martin. Was not really... I don't think Martin touched the wall, actually. He was very close to it. But he had to lift off a little bit more, and that gave Hartigan the chance to go down underneath him.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get that easy pass. I'm not going to say easy, because no passes are easy.
Oh, you say that, but then we have people like Mr. Danson down in 19th position at the moment. The Matt Danson report is back with you for a Britzy. We should have this as a usual segment. But he's actually got some damage on the front of his car, but he has been still passing people. He's up to 18th position now, fighting with Ayrton Smith and Ryan McCarthy at the moment. So climbing up the order pretty quickly. And Danson is very good at keeping wheels on the car, keeping his tyres good for a stint. He's very good at saving tyres over a stint, and that could be a really good thing for him at this track. We'll have to see how that works out for him as we go on in the race, but he is slowly climbing up that leaderboard, and he's sort of on that first page of the actual of the board now. So he's definitely climbing up there.
Yeah, like we were saying before, he's just one of those drivers that have got so much skill, and he's going to be going to Road to Pro this year as we see him come up on the back of it, and then he'll have no trouble passing him.
Another little scrap we've got down in 12th place with Barry Neal. Nice little scrap going on there with Chris Purnell and James Roby. What a fantastic looking car as well. It's got that beautiful original Gulf car livery, the light blue with the beautiful orange on it. Which, interesting fact, one of my interesting fact times, I'm afraid. I'm going to go into history here. Originally, Gulf didn't have that light blue. Actually, a very dark blue for Gulf racing. However, because they started racing back in the black and white era, they had to change it to a lighter blue colour, because otherwise the whole car looked black on the screen. So they ended up changing it from orange to dark blue to orange with light blue, so it was sharp on the black and white TVs. That is why the Golf car is that very baby blue with the orange stripe. Useless for you, but good information.
There you go.
And yeah, thank you to all new followers as well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We always welcome everybody new. And with everything going on in the world at the moment, there's not as much motorsport on TV, but we are still going to be on the all streaming all throughout and carrying on as normal. One of the joys of sim racing is you get to do it in isolation. As Jason Martin is having a good look at Jason Hartigan right now. Sorry, two Jasons in a row. That's going to throw me out, of course. But Hardigan has got the better of him. But just behind them, we've got Skurlock coming up on Danny G now as well.
Yeah, Skurlock's pulling right up on Danny G's. I don't know, he's got some burst of speed here. Maybe Danny G's tyres are falling off a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's going to be different for every driver out there for the tyre situation, because tyres are definitely... Yeah, as almost get contact between Bradley Allison and Edward Foster there. Allison just getting a bit of a tank slapper across the road there, and Foster just managed to avoid that one. They're racing very hard down there, and Foster's lost a little bit of speed, and that's giving the Illusion car... sorry, not the Illusion car. That's giving Ryan Jones, now a privateer, and Kai Sloggett, of course, with Middle Finger Racing, a good chance at a run with them. Bradley Allison has managed to slot his way back into that fight, though, to block them off. So, good little drive from Allison there. And it looks like Ryan Jones is going to try and get the pass there, really pushing.
Yeah, well, you can see there's already a bit of damage on Jones' car, and it's way too early going. 3 wide in my books.
Got to be careful with that one. It's so easy to make a mistake there. And it's one of those things that's very easy to do, making a mistake in that situation. But I've got a feeling that Jones is actually on fresher tyres. I think he's actually looking down the field, actually. May not be. That may be just me making things up, sorry. I did see somebody... No, it was not him. But he's got a sudden burst of speed there, and he has managed to get past Foster. So, good run there. Meanwhile, we've got Josh Mickelmore still in the lead and having a good gap from Jason Hartigan.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but Burton Smith further back in the field, he just dropped a whole heap of spots. I don't know. I saw him go held up on the outside. I don't know if he brushed the wall or something else happened there that caused him to be dropping so many spots real quickly.
Yeah, we'll have to turn on that one. Hopefully not too major. Again, one of the drivers that's slightly newer to the series as well. So Texas is a hard track as well. I've got to admit, it's one of my favourite tracks, but I'm sometimes in the minority on tracks that I enjoy. But it is a very tricky track because it's so fast, yet you have to lift on it. It's a sort of very strange sort of track feeling. And it can really throw you out. It can give you such confidence sometimes and then really catch you out.
Yeah, I don't mind it myself, just like you. I quite enjoy it to drive.
It is definitely one of my top favourites. Just for drive. Up there with the other guys, it's Michael Schroeder. Sorry, not Ryan Jones. Sorry, it's Michael Schroeder who's 2 laps down and has come in for a stop. So he's on fresher tyres, and that's why he's so much faster than the guys around him. Sorry, I thought that was Jones there for a second. Sorry about that. It's not me if I don't make a mistake. So mistake has been made. But currently sitting 2 laps down. Had to pit early because of damage, but now those fresh tyres are on. You can see the difference speed there is on those fresh tyres. Getting past, up past quite a few cars. He's now catching on his teammate Mirko Dorfman.
Yeah, that speed difference on fresh tyres is insane here. So we may see some drivers try to do the undercut here tonight.
Yeah, I expect to see somebody throw the dice. Of course, what these drivers are waiting for is a caution call. These guys are going to hang out there as long as they can until the caution comes out. What we saw last year as well in the race, we saw everybody sort of hanging out there for that caution to come, and just hoping it came at the right time. And that's sometimes the way of the race, really. They're going to struggle out there on these tyres and hope somebody pins it into the wall and gives them the chance to actually hit under caution.
Yeah, I was just watching, I saw Ayrton Smith going to the outside wall. He's been dropping back quite significantly, so I don't know if he's got some type of tyre where it's gone down too quickly or what's going on there, but yeah, out's coming out of 4 there.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage to the front right of that car as well. And caution, we got a caution. Yeah, Ryan Jones there.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go and have a look back at that one. So what happened? But yeah, Ryan Jones and looks like Chris Purnell involved in that.
Teammates there, so Ryan Jones just gets the outside wall. Chris
Goes on the outside wall and then comes back all into Purnell. Purnell, a bit of a passenger in that one, unfortunately. Not much he could have done there. Just when the car bounces up like that and hits you on the hits you in that position, there's not much you can do. And as I said, everybody's going to be wanting a caution, and here it is for them.
Yep, we're going to see a lot of everyone take tyres and fuel here. Go into pit.
Yeah, of course, tyres are your mainstay here, but fuel, get about 50 to 60 laps out of it without too much trouble. So it's going to be worth taking on fuel on it. And of course, getting all of those tyres changed. The question is does anyone try and just get the inside tyres changed? Is anyone feeling a little bit risky out there and deciding to just change the inside tyres and leave the outside tyres as they are?
It's early on. I wouldn't do that, Carl, myself, but everyone's different. We see driver go straight through pit lane. Marco, so he must have missed his pit box, I would believe.
Unfortunate there. Fortunate indeed. And they all get away nice, and it looks like they've all kept their positions as they sort of went in there. Very, very close battle between Hartigan and Martin there. They were side by side across the actual line, but it looks like Hartigan had just a couple of millimeters in front of Jason Martin. So he's managed to keep in second place, but everybody's going to be happy for this. It's basically a fresh start to the race.
Yeah, and talking about Jason and 2 tyres, we saw him try to attempt that strategy last week, and it definitely didn't pay off for him, unfortunately.
No, it's a risky strategy sometimes, but sometimes these risks do pay off, sometimes they don't. But being this early on, as you say, it's not really worth it at this stage. Maybe later on in the race, you might see somebody try it, but just have to wait and see for that one. See what. So, a bit of a start to the race, so to say. Too wild out there, which is good. It's definitely not an easy track running though. Everybody's been having a little bit of trouble out there, sliding up a little bit, just having trouble keeping the car on that sort of lower line through those corners, especially when the tyres have been starting to get a bit run down.
Yeah, for sure. And also on these first few laps, we're going to have to watch for any drivers getting sideways. Cold tyres here aren't the funnest at times.
No, cold tyres are never. They're always a bit of a pain to. Just looking at Mirko Dortnack, of course, he didn't stop. He just broke through the pit lane. He's going to just have to come in next couple of laps before the start, or if he's just out there in the lead and see what he can do. Maybe it's a bit of a strange strategy.
Yeah, I believe he missed his pit bay, so we'll see what happens here. I believe he'll just stay out and probably get away by the pace car unless he's going to come in and get tyres.
I think tyres are probably the best idea for him, and see him dive into the lane this time round. So yeah, coming in this time round. So a bit of a mistake there for Mirko, unfortunately. That really cost him a bit because he did quite well through the race, but he's dropping to the back of the pack.
Yeah, well, he qualified third there tonight, so yeah, he was doing all right up, I think, in the top 10. But unfortunately, a little mistake like that costs you big time here.
It does. It's a costly mistake. That's, of course, better in a caution than in a green flag situation. That would have been devastating in a green flag situation. But yeah, that has really cost places. And the lights are out in the pace car, and we're going to go back to racing very shortly. So, looking good so far for Josh Micklemore. I reckon sitting in probably the best spot at the moment. Other people that have made their way up a little bit further, people like Edward Foster and Michael Skurlock, they've had a good run, getting a little bit further up, gaining a few positions. Then we have people like James, both getting 12 positions up the roads. A few drivers climbing up a few spots, see what they can do in the race.
Yeah, as we go back green here, we'll let you hear the cars as they go again.
Flag Racing, and we've got somebody off in the background. We've got Norman Clark off in the background going across the infield there with a green car. That was I reckon that. That was Riley Curtis and Norman Clark. Okay, a big incident there, but we have remained green, so that is good news for the rest of the drive. For sure, they're going to be pretty happy with that one. But unfortunate incident there between Curtis and Clark. And Norman just managing to keep that car under control through that. Well, just that experience does come to show sometimes. He just has that experience and pull off these amazing saves. So fantastic job for Norman. And hopefully he'll get back on pace, back going, because there's not much damage to that car, if any, clean, but he's just got to get back in the comfort zone and back onto the pack of cars now.
Yeah, once you make a mistake like that, you just got to get back in the zone and keep, as we see Jason moving up on Josh here for a possible pass in the next few laps.
Yeah, he's definitely probing those attacks, just positioning himself a little bit higher and a little bit lower in the corners, just trying to get Micklemore thrown off a little bit, just using the psych technique. And he comes down, he's going down low, and Micklemore's left the door open here, and that's going to help him out. That's helped Hartigan out. Will he be able to keep the speed? Does indeed, and that is Jason Hartigan coming through to first place. Now, will he be able to get down on the inside? Yes, he does. So Jason Hartigan there for JP Simshed has taken the lead.
And Skurlock's now looking on the back of Josh. They go into 3 and 4.
I think Micklemore may have just lost a little bit of speed there, just getting hung up in the line a little bit, not being able to come down, and that's just Skurlock the chance just to get a little bit closer this time round. But it's not been Josh. It's not stopped Josh from fighting, because he's definitely coming back up there, and he's trying his best to get back up into that first place.
Yeah, for sure. He's now coming back at Jason, but just not enough to get the nose in under there.
He just needs to get it stuck in there a little bit more, and he might do it here. Done it across the oval section, and he has got past Jason there. Managed to slot himself in, and this is going to leave Jason quite far out. He's going to lose a bit of speed here, and it's going to leave him open for Skurlock possibly. Managed to keep a hold of it at the moment, but how's he going to go through the turns 3 and 4? He's managed to slot it in nicely there between himself and Skurlock. Good positioning for Josh Hartigan.
Yeah, he very much cut the nose off there, Jason, of Skurlock, just to make sure there's no extra positions lost.
Nice bit of defensive driving there. Losing a position, yes, but not losing many. Just back to second place. Good job for him.
Yeah, Skurlock's definitely hot on his tail though at the moment.
Yeah, he's really pushing it. Skurlock's got some decent speed this year. He's been there or thereabouts all year round, and you see that from the championship standings. The fact he's leading at them. It really does say a lot. He's had a very consistent, very good season so.
Yeah, he's had a very good season, a lot of good finishes, as we have seen the Matt Danson 13th at this point in time.
Yeah, he's climbing up there. Danson is definitely flying. Coming up behind Danny Stevens at the moment in Middle Finger Racing Car. And just in front of them, Dave Douglas. So where it starts getting a little bit trickier, there's some very experienced guys at the front here, but probably going to see Danson get past without too much fuss. As I say, he just has this annoying his tyres just that little bit fresher, and you can see that in the car speed he has. He just a little bit faster than everybody else, and just manages to get there.
Yeah, and talking of experienced drivers, Dave Douglas is one of the really good drivers out here. As we got a caution.
And Roger Clark has gone out, and that almost caused Barry Nail as well. He had a half spin as well. So we'll just go back and have see if I can catch it. Yeah, play. Oh yeah, big spin there for Roger. Yeah, Roger there, and that is taking that car out. Not the best night for Roger Clark.
Right. Just a self spin there. Unfortunately, he was coming out here in the JP Simshed green machine and having a run tonight, giving it his all, but it's unfortunate that something like that happens.
It's very easy to happen. And as I said, we almost saw a secondary crash with that with Barry Nail. When that caution came out, I think just locked the brakes a little bit, going through the corner and lost the back end. Managed to catch it very well, get it back on track. But everybody's coming into the pits again. It's a fresh change of tyres and a bit of a top-up fuel.
Yeah, they all want those fresh tyres all the time to just stay out here, and well, fresh tyres really help tonight out on that track. They fall off so quickly.
Yeah, they just drop off the clear, and that's the problem with it. They fall so quickly that you don't change them. You see who can race off of pit lane first. Like everybody. Service. And like Jason Martin had a bit of a horror stop there. He's dropped down behind his teammate. It looks like of Danny G. But the top three stay the same, and that's Picklemore, Hartigan, and Skurlock.
Yeah, very interesting that he didn't get the best pit stop out there, and that can make or break a race, but he should be easily able to come back from that. As I was watching Matt Danson and him coming out the pits there, he put 2 tyres above the white line, which you're not supposed to do, so I'm not sure if he'll get a black flag for that or not.
Keep an eye on that one. He comes in again and serves a stop, then he's going to get caught for that. See?
Yeah, he was racing someone off a pit lane, and unfortunately, as he came up, they didn't leave him enough room, and he's had to go above the white line with 2 tyres. So we'll see what happens there.
The iRacing steward makes of that one then. Of course, notoriously unreliable. Always the best steward, but we'll see what happens with that one. We'll see what shakes out there. But yeah, it's looking good for Josh Micklemore at the moment. He's been having a pretty commanding race and keeping in the front.
Yeah, he's had a very strong race here tonight.
And yeah, he's been doing very well in there. Bryce Loggett as well has had a good climb up. 11th to 6th at the moment, with his teammate of Matthew Fleur behind him. So the 2 middle finger racing cars done a fantastic job. Kai's managed to make up from 25th place to 7th place. That is an enormous climb. Really good job there. Climbed up the order. Just behind him, James Roby as well, from 22nd to 8th. And then we have, of course, Matt Danson, 38th to 10th at the. So some real high climbers there, and we'll see what happens to those guys as it starts to unfold, because they're really starting to climb up the order. That could be very good for them.
Yeah, anytime you're moving up is always good.
Wait for the cars to get the wave around, and then go back to flag racing. It's interesting to see how everybody goes on the restart here as well, because we've seen that Josh Micklemore absolutely nailed the restarts every time around.
Yeah, he's been able to get that jump and get away is always an important part of racing. You always want to get that jump and be able to get away.
It's a funny thing, the restart. Something that looks easy. So many things can be wrong on it as well, especially being that lead car. It's so easy to make yourself look like a bit of a numpty and spin it at the restart, because those tyres at the back are cold. If you put too much throttle down, you end up spinning the tyres. The back end gets loose, and you've really got to be careful sometimes on that little bit of acceleration after that pace car goes in.
Yeah, and you see some guys that are very new, don't know what gear to start in, so see them spin out or not get a good start, and that's another thing. If your line bogs or backs up, it can end up tail to nose and everyone into each other.
And as I say, caution handbrake cautions, the common mantra in motorsport. Here's cautions brief. As the pace car comes in, and we're going to go back to green flag racing. And is he going to drop it? He drops it now. Josh McElmore gets a good restart and pulls along Marcus Sherlock with him. Sherlock getting a fantastic jump there on Harskin.
Yeah, that was a really, really good start there. He timed that really well.
Really nice start for that bottom line. They had a fantastic job there. And another person that's had a fantastic restart is Matt Danson. He has just flown through. Taken a handful of positions. Jason Martin is on the outside, and Chris Purnell has gone out. We've got a caution for Chris Purnell. He has gone into the pole. What happened there? So, yeah, looks like he's just tapped the car in front, and then Mia Ops just tagged him in the back, and that has sent him into the pole. And that would have been an uncomfortable ride. So, real shame there for him. That's a big one there for Purnell, and that can be costly.
Yeah, it might have been some of that existing damage from earlier on, and tyres that might have just given him the wrong type of push through the corner and slid him up into the outside wall. Unfortunately, Mia was a unexpected passenger in that.
Yes, sort of those positions where you don't want to be in, where you sort of get a lot of damage on the front of your car, and it's not really your fault there. So I'm sure we'll see Mia coming into the pit lane now, and yes, they do. So is coming in and gonna get a repair on that car because the front of it is looking a bit like a dog's dinner. And Edward Foster's pitted as well. Foster, he's got some light damage on the damage on. I don't think was check that one. No, I lie, that was there before. So, yeah, Foster's in as well to get a little bit of repair done and get back out on the track. He's going to start on fresh tyres now as well. So, see what a difference a couple of laps of those tyres can make, because well, it's not been far. He's going to be on a nice fresh set of tyres for this restart, and that could see him get some good position.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting as we didn't really have too many laps there. I think we had 2 in total. Maybe he's going to do a Matt Danson and come back through the field.
Could be done, yeah. And it's dropped him down to, I think, 29th in the positions. Quite far down, which is not where you want to be. But he has sort of gotten into slightly off-kilter strategy now. Got fresh tyres on the car. Everybody else pitted a couple of laps ago. Whereas he's on lovely fresh rubber now. So he might get a better restart. And he could start getting... And if we do have a green race here for a while, it could work out quite well for him.
Yeah, if we get a super long green run here, it might work out for him. But being that there was only 2 laps, I'm not sure how much of an advantage it will be.
No. It's one of the things with these new tyre models, you do get a little bit of heat cycle through them. So, of course, when they've been on that early stage, on those early sort of restarts where you only have a couple of laps, it doesn't cause too much damage to the tyre. And they actually sometimes heat up quicker because they've already gone through a bit of a cycle. So sometimes fresh tyres aren't the best ones to be on for the restart, but for the next couple of laps, I imagine he's going to pace. So we'll have half an eye on that at the back. But this means that Josh Micklemore's going to have to make another lightning restart, and now he's got Mick Gerlock beside. Again, another good restart. So this could be the race for the lead here.
Yeah, as a leader, you never want to see that yellow flag keep coming out because it obviously means another restart coming your way.
Yeah, it's a shame for Micklemore because such a nice lead as well before we have these cautions. And one of the frustrating things in racing, up these great leads and a couple of cautions, and all of that hard work has just
Yeah, all that, even with drivers that are been half a lap ahead and it's been a really long green run, then you get a yellow, you got to bring the field back up again. Even in road racing, they exactly the same.
yeah, it's a bit heartbreaking sometimes when it happens. It's usually when it happens when you're on a good run as well. The caution will come out when you yourself are doing your best run and everything's looking great. But the pace car is on this lap. One to look out for. Every time we look at his name, he's in a different position, and it's always higher than the last one. So he's in 6th place at the moment. So he's going to want to try and get 6 more places up the grid, and yeah, I can see he's going to want to get that lead quite soon.
Yeah, he's starting on that outside line there, so be a bit more challenging, but I'm sure he'll have it under control being Matt Danson.
Yeah, you can't count him out anywhere, unfortunately. So pace car is coming in, and Micklemore has just dumped it straight away. He's not left it to chance here at all. He put his foot down right away there, and that's left the field a little bit slipping in his wake.
Yeah,
as Danson's coming down.
Matt got a really good jump there with him.
Yeah, Danson just getting straight past Danny J there. Really good restart for Danson there. He's just flown his way through.
See Jason pass Gerlach there for second, and Danson trying to follow through.
Yeah, he's definitely trying it as they go through wide, and Gerlach is hit by Danson. Danson spun him around. Gerlach, is anyone going to hit him? Oh! Gerlach has got very lucky there. I think if I was Mick Gerlach, I'd go and buy a lottery ticket, because that is just the luckiest thing in the world there for nobody to T-bone him. He just got tapped just on the rear by Danson there, just as they went into turn 1. And he's just gone fully around, and normally would expect everybody to collect him, but everybody has just managed to avoid that incident, and come out of it pretty much unscathed. Raymond Yeager would have had one heck of a view there. He was flying along, and all of a sudden he had Skurlock right in front of him. Very lucky to get around that one. Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, I could see that coming, and I was nearly going to call it, but I wasn't sure if they were just fighting there or what was happening. But Skurlock come down, and then Matt tried to stick his nose in there, and unfortunately it just didn't go well.
Two do not go into one, as they say. And yeah, that's costly for Skurlock, but could have been much worse for him, because if a car had T-boned him in that situation, that would have been him out the race. His car's got a little bit of damage to the rear of it, no doubt, but just means he's at the back of this grid now. So he got very lucky there. I can't believe anyone. I can't believe people managed to miss it there. That was a monumental save by every driver that went past him there.
Yeah, it just shows you the skill of the drivers that we have here in ANZCAR.
Yeah, very good driving on everyone's behalf there. Fantastic jobs of just siving their way past there. And yeah, there would have been a few drivers that would have had a brown alert moment there for sure.
Yeah, instead of changing tyres, they might be changing other things time by.
Yeah, that's it. Just having a little look through the order as well. Just Middle Finger Racing having a very strong night at the moment. You've got James Roby in 5th place. You've got Matthew Cluett in 9th. And then we've got Brett Garrett's in 8th place is Matthew Cluett, and 9th place is Garrett's. So good job for them. And then Danny Stevens is in 12th. So they're having a very strong night. They've managed to get almost all their cars up in the top 10 so far. Really good job for those guys. Nice to see for MFR. They're having a very strong night, and they could be a bit of a sleeper cells, as you say to say, this evening. they've not really been up front yet, but they're there or thereabouts. So good to see them make a play a little bit later on into the race. We've got 100 laps to go now, so still a long way to go for this one.
Yeah, still 100 to go, so a long, long way yet. Hopefully, no more cautions for a little while here.
Hopefully we get some good green flag racing. Yeah, a few cautions there, and just little tiny cautions that are just sort of little mistakes here and there, or just little taps here and there. And what happens sometimes is you do get that sort of stuck in a sort of a vast amount of cautions occasionally, and it's very frustrating as a driver to be constantly. Nobody likes us at 80 kilometers per hour around these corners. It's not fun. What they're just for. And yeah, it's hopefully we'll get some good green flag racing now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on this restart with Danson so close behind Micklemore.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Danson's a little bit more patient now after that incident.
Happens. Sherlock's dropped right down to 33rd position, so quite a few lost for him.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be too happy about it.
Drivers often aren't very. Their favourite thing.
It's not your favourite thing to get taken out by someone else, or unfortunately you cut down over their nose. I don't know what happened there. We'll wait for the ANZCAR officials before I end up saying something dumb.
Look, it's one of those things with racing. Misjudge it by a couple of millimeters and hit you go around, but luckily nobody else was taken out in that. That could have been a very big one this far up in the pack when you have somebody go around and then end up in the middle of the track. Could easily let his foot off the brake there and rolled down the track then. That could have caused a massive incident. Sherlock just held the car in position, made sure everybody knew where he was, and just let everybody pass around him. And that's another thing as well, is funny as it sounds, is knowing how to crash is important as well in oval racing.
Yeah, always hold your brakes when you're crashing, unless accelerating is going to keep you off the wall.
Yep, that's it. Always do this thing unless something else can happen. It's a common thing for racing. There's never an absolute for it, but it is that thing of, sometimes you're better off just letting go, sometimes you're better off just holding your position. But the pace car has come in, and Micklemore again gets a good restart, and he's dragged along Matt Danson. Matt Danson, lightning fast reaction there, manages to get the jump on Hartigan as well.
Yeah, good restart there by Matt.
And he's also left the door open a little bit further down. James Roby is managing to climb up a little bit too. So these guys are managing to get a few up here. But now Josh Micklemore has got a mirror full of Danson behind him.
Yeah, I don't know if Chase just happened to have a bit of a spin up or if he just didn't get the best reaction there, but he's definitely dropped back off this pack a little bit.
Yeah, he has moved down a little bit more water, and it's frustrating on a restart when that happens, because on that outside line. But now Matt Danson is all over the back of Josh Micklemore. He's looking for a way past. Micklemore is doing his best to make sure he can't find it.
He's all over the back very aggressively again. But he had the run there, and Josh did the smart thing and moved down the track to block him.
Good positioning of the car, and that is always an important thing to learn. it's one of those funny things is positioning the car makes such a big difference. That's where experience really starts to show.
Yeah, in those little things, that's where definitely the experience in these veterans start to show.
Both veterans, like term, because unfortunately they're not old. It would be nice if they were old. And we can feel slightly about it, but a lot of these guys are veterans of the series, and they're still in their early 20s. Shake your fist at them.
Yeah, I probably use that term incorrectly, but we're aliens. I don't know what else to call them.
No, they're definitely veterans in the field these days. They've been doing it long enough, but they start so young these days, and they're just quick from the start, and it just makes a big difference for those guys.
Yeah, well, you can start iRacing at any age and get in here and have a go.
Yep, no age requirements for this sport, which is handy. Just having a little bit look down the field, and Edward Foster has climbed up a few positions. He's now in 20th position. In 20th. So having a good little run there for Foster. Those fresher tyres are obviously helping him a little bit with speed. Not a huge gain, not a huge difference, but he's possibly got some fixes done to the car as well.
Yeah, lucky you didn't die on me there, Carl. I thought you were having a bit of a cough attack there for a minute as we see Danson getting right up on the back of Josh again.
Yeah, he is getting so very close there. Yeah, I didn't hit my mute key there. I missed my mute key, which was great, and all tabbed out of everything, so everything was worse. Yeah, Danson getting another good run there, and he is really trying his best. And Josh Micklemore is doing his best to defend, but you have to ask how long can he keep this up with that attack on his rear, or that attack in his mirrors. He comes down. It looks like Danson might have the inside here. He has got a little bit inside there. The nose of the car is in front. Micklemore just knows there's enough room to come back down in front of him, and he does it.
A very nice drive in by Josh here, as we also see in the background Jason and Kyle having a battle of their own for third, fourth.
Yeah, Kyle's having a fantastic drive there. He's had a good couple of seasons, Kyle. He's really building his experience up, and he's just getting better and better. And of course, last season we saw him getting into the chase just through consistency, and that's where he's been working the hardest, is just getting a consistent car, and he's definitely doing well at that.
Yeah, he seems to be consistently doing very, very well up there.
And speaking of good job, Micklemore is still keeping Danson behind him.
It's always harder to get by on these one line tracks, as we see. By again having to go at Jason. Two very big battle packs here, or I should say attacking battle packs.
Yeah, they are attacking quite a bit at the moment, and they are putting some pressure on the guys in front of them. Jason Hartigan's holding well. He's managing to position the car well from Slogger, and just keeping it in that right spot. But while they're fighting with this, it's just letting Danson and Micklemore get a bit further away.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's just giving those drivers a bit more of a drive away there.
As we look down the field, towards Mirko Dortnack. Mirko Dortnack with Raymond Yeager and Matthew Kluert, and Dortnack gets a fantastic move down on Kluert. Down on the inside of Kluert, and Kluert's losing a few positions. It looks like Raymond Yeager might get a spot there, and he does indeed. So Dortnack having a bit of a disastrous pit stop, has managed to work his way back up to 13th position. Great drive from Mirko there. He's really pushing the car back up the field, and he's now just on the tail end of his teammate in Dave Douglas, and it looks like he's going to really try his best to get past Dave as he takes a good lunge there. But Douglas, the crafty bugger that he is, manages to keep the car in a good position and stops him from coming past. With Brett Garrett's just in front of Douglas now, and they're all trying to get past each other at the moment, giving Bradley Allison a chance to just run away a little bit.
There's some really good driving there from Dave.
Go back to the front. Jason and Holly Sloggett having a good battle as well. And also another battles, we just look behind them. There is also James Robbie and Danny G at the moment. Fantastic little scrap. And Danny G looks to have got the better of that one, getting past Robbie. And looks like Jason Martin might give it a try as well. So fights breaking out all across the track here at the moment.
Yeah, things are starting to warm up here.
They are indeed. It's really starting to get a bit spicy out there on the track. It's what we like to see. Some good racing, and yeah, it's all across the board at the moment. There's racing going on everywhere we look. So if we're missing anything, we do apologise to those drivers, because yeah, there's definitely quite a lot of racing going on at the moment. Just looking a bit further back, Michael Skurlock's making his way up. He's charging through the field at the moment. He's up to 19th now. So he's gained quite a few positions. He is just absolutely flying through the pack. Obviously desperate to get back to his original position. Looks like Sloggett may have just had a bit of a moment there, because he dropped off quite a bit from half. So he has lost a bit of speed there. So it could have just been a little bit looseness on the car. Car just running a bit loose, a little bit high, and then all of a sudden you're a bit of a passenger in the car, unfortunately. But he's still in there, slumping fourth. Up back to the Danny G pack, just behind them. He's still up in that sort of top pack area. Has dropped off a little bit.
He has a little bit of damage on the back of the car too there, so that may be contributing to it.
Down as well, and Norman Clark is also having a great battle as well. We've got a battle of the teams at the moment. We've got quite a few different teams there, as Norman just gets into the 64, just a very light touch on the 64 there. And Clark getting just past, and oh, it looks like Foster just getting into the back of the car from McCarthy. They're just giving a slight touch as they go for the corner. Foster's really racy at the moment. He's pushing hard still, but he's losing a few positions. I think the damage on the front of that car is really starting to slow him down. Unfortunately, got that a little bit earlier on, and that's really hurt him out. But really, everyone from Barry Neal to really to well, quite a few cars in this group. They're having a fantastic scrap. Barry Neal just getting a little bit of a bump to try and go faster than Ant Smith there, so they are really driving hard. The fast lane esports car is really doing well at the moment with Ant Smith, just pushing very well. But caution is out. We've got a caution out. Looks like it is Lachlan. Oh, huge crash there for Lachlan. We can go back and see what happened there. Into the wall, very heavy damage on the front. Looks like it was a connection issue or an issue of something on the mechanical front, because he's just gone straight into the wall. He's just not steering there. So, say that's a mechanical breakdown somewhere along the line, possibly from the wheel, and he has gone into the wall, and that is Lachlan out. So, must have put the dampeners on that car earlier on today, unfortunately. So I apologise about that one to the guys at SimShed.
Yeah, he had a bit of a beat up car there, and he must have just had something go wrong with the wheel, which is never fun. You always want the best quality gear and the best reliable stuff on the market if you can get it.
Yeah, it does help a lot. Yeah, it does make a difference. I've been struggling a bit with my pedals recently. My second-hand G27 wheels have been sort of playing up a little bit, and I've had to tweak around a few times, but it does make a difference for sure sometimes. The pits we come, and who is going to come out in first this time round? Matt Danson had a beautiful pit stop, but Micklemore has managed to retain the lead only just. There was half a nose in it there, not very much in that one. But Micklemore has retained the lead there just about. Artigan has managed to stay just in third place.
It's always interesting seeing the race for pit road, seeing if anyone can make up some positions. Luckily here in iRacing we don't tend to have anyone that sit in a pit box longer than someone else. Not like real life where you might have a wheel nut or something that gets jammed.
Luckily, I wheel nuts don't get jammed too often. That's its way out. Jono, I might just get you to run through the order real quick.
Yeah, so we got Josh Micklemore first, Jason Harrigan second, Kai Snoggett third, Denny G fourth, Jason Martin fifth, James Robbie sixth, Hamish Gallagher seventh, Bradley Ellison in eighth. Oh, we're all changing around as we come around for lap. Dave Douglas in 10th there, and we got Hamish Gallagher in 11th, Marco Dortnack in 12th, Nolet Brett in 13th, Raymond Yeager in 14th, Daniel Stevens in 15th.
Clerk down there in 16th, and it looks like the Middle Finger Racing guys have just dropped off a bit from the pace. Skurlock's managed to find his way back up to 17th, and just rounding out the top 10, we have Barry Neal, Ayrton Smith, and then Norman Clark 20th there with his teammate Edward Foster just behind him. And Riley Curtis as well has clawed his way back up from that earlier incident. So good job from those guys. They've done some good work to get back up into the sort of low 20s, I think.
Lucky you come back there, Carl. Save my backside. I'm not real good at that stuff. You see some people's names and you're just like, okay.
Yep, I'll just say the first name or the last name. It will just if it's too hard, I'll just go with the car number. Yes, just ran out of water there. So it was getting a bit dry. But we are back, and pace car's lights are out, so we're going to go back to green this time round. And of course, Danson is going to be on that outside line again, so Micklemore's going to have to have a really good start here, because otherwise Danson could get him.
Yeah, Danson could definitely get that jump on the outside there, but it's going to be harder as he's going to need a really good to get down on the inside line through 1 and 2.
And thank to SG Sim Racing as well. Thank you for subscribing as well. It's a pleasure to have some more viewers. I'd like to see some new faces here and there. So we thank you for that, absolutely. Yeah, just looking down in second place, Matt Danson, he's gained 36 positions in this. It's just, I swear, we need to put a Danson ballast in for the series just to slow him down a bit, because he's been flying this. Never count him out, and he tell he's going to the sort of majors because he's got that speed. And we're going to go green again, and Micklemore gets a good restart this time. Danson is pretty good there. Hartigan gets a bit of a disastrous one, and that's really slowed down that bottom line.
Yeah, we saw him last restart getting not the best start there, unfortunately. As we see Jason looking to Jason's outside.
And Kai Sloggett is the man on the move up the front. He's managed to get up to 3rd place now from that restart. So really good job there. Yeah, Danson is all over the back. Crash on him. So we'll have to see how well Micklemore can defend now. As essentially everybody's reset and they're back to positions as we go 3 wide, a little bit further back in the pack through the corner. James Roby with Bradley Allison and I think Dave Douglas there running 3 wide through turn 1, and that's a very ballsy thing to do. And through turn 2, we got a caution out, and that's caused us another bit of a crash at the front. Paul Jackson's got off, but at the front that's also caused us a bit of a crash. So go and have a little look at that one. But that caused a ripple effect down the actual order as well, because we had a secondary crash there as well. So just find that one. Raymond Yeager had a one. Go back. Whole front end of the car there. Going through turns 3 and 4, it looks like. And just looks like the car in front of him's got loose, and yep, he's just gone straight into the car in front of him. So yeah, one of the illusions in front of him got loose. I think that might have been
yeah, that was Marco Dortnack.
Yeah, so Dortnack had a big moment there as well, and as I said, that led to a secondary crash at the front of the field as well. 2 drivers got caught in that too, so a bit of a double up there. So everybody's going to be sort of waiting to go back to green again. We're on lap 97 of 166 now.
As we see Chris Purnell come around the outside to get one of his laps back.
That will put Purnell back on the lead lap now. So Purnell is back on the lead lap, I think.
No, he's down by 1 lap, still he was down 2 laps.
Still 2 laps. So still a lap down, but it could be worse. Still could 2 laps. So slowly climb this way up there. As look through top of the field as well, and the guy that's really made a great recovery at the moment is Skurlock. He's in the 13th position. Unlucky for some, but lucky for Skurlock at the moment. He's got up to 13th now and has made some serious progress up the field.
Yeah, that's a really good run from him after that incident earlier with Matt there.
I'm sure he's looking to try and get back up there. A little bit of payback, maybe, or a little bit of a friendly touch as well. He wants to get back up there for racing for sure, but he's doing the right thing about it. He's definitely climbing up the order, and he's on a move at the moment. So good to see that he's not out of this race. Still in the top 20 as well, so that will help him get through to the next race, of course. Because with the qualification system for races, of course, in the Cup Series, it's our top 20 that go through, as well as the drivers with the cleanest safety record. And they get an automatic entry, and then everybody else is done through qualifying itself. So we'll see how this goes for them all. But yeah, that's it's positive, at least for him, for next time out.
Yeah, always good to come off a positive race into the next one. Hopefully continue that streak.
Yeah, it's good to get a bit of a streak going, because it's almost like winning your first race. The pressure comes off of you and it becomes a bit easier for the next time. and that will be Bristol, of course, next, which is a circuit that you either love or you hate, and I find most drivers hate it. A few strange ones do love it as well.
I like it, not so much to drive on, but to watch, especially with the pit boxes being on the front and back stretch. You see some drivers forget where theirs are and make some mistakes there.
Bristol and Dover are both just such interesting little tracks. The fact that we still race there in this era of stock car is just fantastic. They are ridiculous little tracks, but boy are they fun. Yeah, so Bristol next time out, and it's a completely different track. It's a short oval, of course. Completely different way of driving that, and we could see some different, very different ways of driving out there. Possibly some people that get into the position a little bit.
As we'll see Josh start on the inside and Matt start on the outside, so we'll have to see how this restart goes. If Jason can get a better restart too from behind Danson.
Yeah, this could be good news for Kai Sloggett if Jason Hardigan doesn't have as good a restart again. We could really see this paying off for Sloggett, giving him a good chance and getting as well Jason Martin back in the race. So have to see how this restart goes. Pace car's coming in, and will Josh Mickelmore drop it again? He's waiting. He's not doing the same as last time, and down it goes.
And Danson getting another good start on his outside and sticking with him there.
Yeah, brilliant start there by them both. Danson managed to get a good start, but Josh Mickelmore got a better start at that.
As we see Jason getting swamped by a few drivers at the moment.
But Danson's got some speed on the back straight now. He's going to try for the undercut, is he? It looks like he is. Will he get it done? No, not this time round. But good restart there from them both, and that was a lightning reflex from Danson. He just managed to drop the throttle at the exactly right time there and really get a good restart.
Yeah, some really good timing there.
Ooh, and
from
Dave
Danson.
Douglas just getting a bit looser, sorry. Just getting a little bit comfortable with the wall, a little bit further down the field. But he's managed to keep it going. But yeah, Danson's all over the back of Mickelmore now.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say before we restarted there that Dave is having a good night quietly there as we have a yellow.
Caution. Might be not Clark, so back at that. As usual, we do apologise. Our faces acting up a bit. Looks like him and Aaron had a bit of a coming together. So the 64 and Norman Clark, so 64 of Aaron Smith, sorry, and Norman Clark just getting into each other there. And yeah, just that's ended Norman's race. Like just coming down the inside and just closed in a bit too tight there, and then bumping along each other, and then that has on Norman into the wall. So a big incident at the back there, and that has taken toll on Norman. He's been involved in a couple of incidents tonight, unfortunately, but we are back under caution. As I say, safety cars breed safety cars, unfortunately. Hogan, really? I should get it printed on a t-shirt. So the question is now, do we pit? We've had a relatively late safety car, and at Danson very late there. He goes across the American flag there, so I think because he didn't pass the yellow cone, I think he will just about get away with that one. And we have found out what's happened with Lachlan as well. His monitor disconnected, so monitor failure. Rather interesting thing you do get in sim racing sometimes. It's not too common in in your normal races, but in sim racing, it could absolutely be a thing. So monitor disconnected, and that's why he went into the wall. So lucky he was not running in a big pack there. Been very, very dangerous.
Yeah, as now Parcel gets his lap back. He'll be back on the lead lap. And as for Danson, I don't know if there'll be a iRacing penalty or not there, because that was the commitment cone, so he should have been committed or not committed.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of times that one. They sort of don't count that first cone. The sort of the true commitment cone. They sort of count the cone that's right on the pit entries. It's a bit frustrating from up here in the box because you sort of go, well, surely that should work, but oh well. As I said, iRacing shielding is a bit strange. But in all of that, we had Kai Sloggett come in, so he came in from pretty high up there and has changed to fresh tyres. So no, it wasn't. Oh yeah, so sorry, he did not stop. Still up in first place. But we did have a few people stop for tyres, so it'll be interesting to see if they can make any move through this and if that affects their races. Going down the order a little bit, just mentioned before, Foster, he dropped down quite a bit and came in for his extra tyres. He's sitting in 14th for the moment, with Riley Curtis just behind him in 15th. So a few good recovery drives here. And Michael Skurlock's there just in 13th as well, so didn't make any positions up on that one, but he's sitting there up in the top 20 still, in 13th position.
Yeah, good little drive there. Do you have a pick this late into the race, Carl, or are we just going to keep our mouth shut?
Oh, look, if I pick somebody, it's guaranteed they're going to, something's going to happen to them and then an angry driver messes. So, I always feel rough doing that because whoever I pick usually has a bad time. But honestly, I've got to say it's between Micklemore and Danson. Those two are extremely fast, and so far Micklemore's had an answer to everything Danson's brought to him.
That's a fair and safe call there.
If I mention anyone else, I'm sure their engine will just explode out of nowhere, or their car will just flip out of nowhere as well. I've put the commentary curse on too many people this year, it seems, and I'm trying not to do it as much.
We've got to have fun with our power.
You just can't abuse it, that's the trouble. So we'll be getting back to green very shortly as the pace cars lights have come out and coming into the pit lane at this time round. So what will we see from the restart for Josh Micklemore this time? We've seen him go early, we've seen him go late. Now, what one is he going to try this time round for Danson, and will Danson be able to hook it with him? That's a big question.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. 31 and 30, I just noticed there in 1 and 2.
Yes, the car numbers are sort of lining up a little bit in reverse at the moment. The 31 in the lead with the 30 behind him. I'm sure that Danson wants to change that and get the 30 in front. But I do feel like Danson should be running the 666 for this season. Anyway, we're back to green, and Micklemore drops it straight away. Good restart, but Danson was on him as well. Danson drops it at the same time, so he hasn't managed to make much of a lead. They are pretty close here, but Micklemore has managed to pull a car's length in it, so means Danson's going to have to drop down behind him. And will Danson manage to get up there? He's going to try and go down on the inside. He feints it, goes for the outside. This should give him a little bit better exit speed back onto the start-finish straight. So will he get that bit of a better exit speed? He's going to try it. He goes up high. Not going to do it. Going high again. Not going to do it. Not committing yet. He's looking for it, though. Staying up high at the moment, and he's just having to ease off a little bit as they go past one of the lapped cars there. believe that was Mia Ott, sorry, losing the front half of their car. So not the best night. Some good racing earlier on, but unfortunately got involved in a couple of accidents that weren't their fault. So unfortunate there. But so far, Micklemore has had an answer to everything Danson's thrown at him.
Yeah, and unfortunate start there for Jace. He's dropped back. He got hung up on the outside, and he's dropped back about 5 positions.
Yeah, Jason's just dropping back out a little bit there, and just that little bit of possibly like inexperience in this sort of series can start to show in that situation of the fact of those restarts is you have to be so on it. Also fatigue as well at this stage in a race. We're on lap 110 so far, and now, as these races go on, they can be a bit tiring as Kai Sloggett is starting to look at the back of Danson now.
Yeah, Kai's got a good run on Danson here, but Danson's got the inside line.
Yeah, Danson's looking good at the moment. He's in a fantastic spot, so great job there. And they are just racing nice and hard, but it looks like Danson's dropping off a little bit, just because he's having to defend from Sloggett now.
Yeah, no, also could be a tyre strategy play, or who knows with Danson. He's always trying to come up with something to get the win.
Always up to something. He's a thinking man's driver. He's always thinking of something different and trying to work things out in the head as we go past the 35 there, which is looking a little bit worse for wear. Missing a lot of the front end of the car now. New special cooling system on the car of losing the bonnet, so shouldn't have too much issue with the cooling system, but not looking the best of it.
Yeah, we used to hose the front of our cars out of drifting, take the bumper, hose them down, and the radiators. You're sitting on a rev limiter the whole time around the corners. It gets really, really hot.
Engines don't like to sit on rev limiters. I know it's strange to hear, I'm sure, everybody, and I'm sure none of you knew this, but if you keep over revving your engine, it doesn't tend to like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of wear and tear on those drift cars, and unfortunately sometimes only last a little.
You're only seconds away from blobs sometimes, which is part of the fun of it, I guess. Good battle here at the front though, as Matt Danson has got up close to Josh Micklemore now, and sitting on each other's tails at the moment, and Sloggett is just up there as well, so great job on Sloggett. He's keeping there, but that's pulling along the other two Mitch Motorsport cars of Martin and Danny G, and then Jason Hargan's just sitting on the back of those, and he's just starting to pull in a little bit of time there now. As Matt Danson goes up high and is looking to make a move again, he's going to try and do the undercut here, switch underneath the car, but Micklemore is holding it on that low line and not letting him do it.
Yeah, starting to see this top 5 form up as Matt's getting really eager here to get by Josh.
Getting super racy here. He is really trying it, and he's making himself known in his mirror as well. That's the thing that Danson's doing right now, is leaving left to right, just making Micklemore have to look in his mirrors and have to think, which way is he going to go? Is he going to go left or right? And meaning that Micklemore has to commit left or right. And again, it's that psychological warfare aspect of driving. You know, you have to try and out-psych the driver in front of you.
Yeah, you can always try and make the driver in front of you make that slight error, slight mistake, and being a very one-line racetrack here, that's what you...
Yeah, these single-line racetracks can really be very tricky, and of course you start getting marbling on the outside as well, and when you get up out there it gets worse and worse throughout the race, and you know, it becomes like you're driving on marbles as they start looking to go too wide here, as Martin tries to put a move on Sloggett, and they are just really pushing the limits of these cars, the limits of the positioning of their cars as well.
Yeah, they won't want to be pushing too quickly too early, or else burn these tyres off. As we see Jason looking again.
Yeah, Hartigan is looking racy, but this is allowing the cars behind him, like Douglas, and Douglas goes down the inside of turns 3 and 4. Looks like Douglas is going to make the move stick right here, and it's also pushed Jason Mine out a little bit as I've just started to go 3 wide, and Douglas has just had to lift out a little bit. But there's a big battle going on as well down in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th as well. There's not much between these cars.
No, Dave has been having a good, quiet, but consistent race there tonight.
Been having the typical Dave Douglas race of just creeping up there quietly, and eventually you'll be up in like 2nd or 3rd place before we know it.
Yeah, us as commentators can't allow that to happen, can we, Carl?
We're going to try and keep him back somehow. But yeah, up front, this battle is still going on quite well, but it does look like Micklemore's managed to pull out a bit of a lead here on Danson. So Micklemore's managed to get a little bit of breathing room. Not much, but a little bit, and that's just going to make him feel a bit more confident for the moment. But you can't let your guard down with Danson behind you.
Yeah, no, that's like bending over in prison for the soap, right?
Absolutely. It is one of those unwritten rules, but everybody knows it, and you just got to be very careful of it. It can come from nowhere, and Danson will be straight to slide up there past you if you do leave a gap open. And just looking a little bit further back, Douglas has made it up to 6th place now. Meanwhile, Skurlock is still fighting his way back. He's in 10th now, battling with Bradley. Battling with Brett Gerditz as well, who's just got past, and he's pulling up now on James Roby. So, man on the move is Skurlock as well. He's really hammering that car and pushing it to the extreme.
And Bradley Ellison is having a good race out there tonight. Even though he's dropped a few places from where he started, he's still staying in the top 10 for a good drive out of a rookie driver there.
It's good consistency. And that's one of the big things you have to learn as a rookie is consistency. And he's been consistently in that sort of top 10 for most of this year. And again, another fantastic drive there.
Yeah, he just hasn't had his time to shine just yet.
No, but it will definitely come. It's something that can come when least expected. And again, another good recovery drive from Riley Curtis as well, who had that incident earlier on in the race. Second caution, I think it was. Getting up there to 16th position now, well, just behind Barry Neal. Again, another rookie putting in a good show tonight there in 15th place, who's battling with Edward Foster. So those guys are really fighting for 4 positions as well. So again, some good positioning for those guys down there.
Yeah, that's another good-looking car out of the Riley Curtis staple there.
Yes, a nice, bright, easy to recognise car, which is what I like to see. As a commentator, that makes my life so much easier than everybody having grey and black cars. Oh, and Kai Sloggett's gone around. Kai Sloggett's gone around, and we'll just have a bit of a look at that one. It looks like Jason's just maybe got into the side of him through the corner. Just come in, and yep, Jason was just running a little bit fast, and that's turned Kai Sloggett around, and almost all of the packers avoided him, bar his teammate. His teammate Daniel Stevens, I think it was.
Yeah, unfortunate. The teammates got tangled up there, just wasn't counting on him sliding down so quickly in front of him there.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Daniel Stevens there. Really unfortunate for MFR there, for both cars to get caught in that same crash. Stevens was just going to go a little bit low trying to avoid it, but then the car came down faster than he expected and bang, straight into it. And that is that for their races. A real shame because Sloggett was having a fantastic drive up there. Not a huge amount of damage to that car. It's not looking great for sure. The back end's looking a bit beaten. The back left is very damaged as well. But I imagine everybody's going to come in for another stop this time round. Probably be our last pit stop.
Yeah, we only got about 40 laps left there. So we'll see how this all plays out. Hopefully no more breed cautions or anything like that tonight.
Yes, we can hope for some nice long green flag running. We want to see it. It is what we're here for. We like to see.
And hopefully Jason didn't catch too much damage in that situation there too.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one is, because he did have him on the front of his car for quite a long time, so that could have damaged some of the cooling aspect of the car. That could have done some serious damage to the cooling of the car. Dave Douglas has managed to jump Jason Martin in the pit stops there and get his way up to 5th position, I think. So good job for him. And Skurlock is up in 7th now. So really good job. Good stop for Skurlock there. Managed to get himself back up into the top 7. So really good job for Skurlock. He's going to be as happy as he can be with that. Not that you can be too happy when you have an incident like that in a race, but managing to sort of make a decent recovery drive out of this one.
Yeah, he's done well to recover the way he has.
He's definitely fast out there tonight, and he has been all season as well. We've seen a different Skurlock this year, just more on it, and we've seen that for Illusion. Actually, they've really been on pushing hard. What we like to see. There have been some drivers that have been a little bit more aggressive out there, a little bit more hungry as well this year, hungry for those race wins rather than just sitting there for points finish. And it's good to see that the drivers are really trying to get these wins, because they really, it does matter. The drivers are really desperate for wins in this series because there's so much competition around you.
That's for sure. That all these drivers are at the highest standard of Australian stock car racing, so you always got to watch your rear end and who's in front of you, and watch yourself out there. So always makes for good competition.
Yes, indeed, and it does help, go up to those others like that. It could really help you out.
Yeah, we'll just take a look at the guy that we've been watching a lot of tonight, Matt Danson. He's won a few major series races already. Going the road to pro again for the second time. I think he went last year. I could be wrong. Maybe he didn't.
Definitely got the talent for it, hasn't he? Danny G's come out pretty well up as well in 3rd position. Jumped Hartigan, Jason Martin as well. So Danny G's somebody to look at as well.
You going to make a call on the top 3, Carl? Instead of just first?
As it stands, I think we might see Mickelmore get this with Danson 2nd. Possibly Douglas. Got a feeling Dave Douglas has got a bit more time in that car. He's been pushing very well so far, so I wouldn't count him out on that top 3 position. So we'll see how that goes on this restart. What about yourself, Jono?
I'm going to go Matt, Dave, and I'm going to throw a wild card in there with Brad Ellison in 3rd, possibly.
Okay. Very, very wild situation. Look, he's in the top 10. Anything. So you can never say no in stock car racing, because these things have happened, and they do happen quite often. One of the advantages now on that bottom line, though, is Mickelmore now has a teammate right behind him, sitting underneath his spoiler. So if they can work it out properly, they might be able to make a bit of a gap between themselves and Danson. So the pace car will be coming in very shortly, and we'll be going back to green flag racing. Indeed, the pace car comes in, and Mickelmore gets a good start again. Will he manage to bring up his teammate? So we've got to see if Danny G can actually get up there now. Looks like Danson's trying to slot in, and he has slotted into that position behind him. So Locked out the teammate there.
That was really good driving there by Danson, as we also see Dave Douglas make
Oh,
some
we've got
positions as we've got another caution.
big crash at the back, huge smash at the back. Kristen Koch involved in that, Ryan DeCarthy MacArthur. Quite a few drivers involved in that one. Go back and have a little bit of a look at that one. See what happened.
Like Tristan might have lost it and got into Matt Hunter there.
Yeah, he's just lost it. Come down a bit too quickly on Matt Hunter, and that has spun him into quite a few cars. A lot of cars involved in that incident, unfortunately. And then the 45 just sort of catching Brother Kemp as well, really caught up bad in that one. A lot of damage for those cars. So real shame that that's wiped out a lot of the drivers down in that lower half of the field. Serious damage for a lot of cars down there, though.
Yeah, Nevin, what you want to see, taking out a lot of drivers there, which is always unfortunate.
Always a problem on a restart as well is very close together. Can be quite devastating when you get a crash in front of you. Personally, get quite a few cars wiped out, and that's what's happened in this situation.
Yeah, and getting close to that 30 to go, people are more likely to be a bit more risky than they were in the start of the race too.
That's it. 33 laps to go now, and it's everybody's starting to get a little bit itchy in their accelerator foot. They want to start getting up there, climbing up those positions, getting into a better spot and see what they can do. Will we see the Mitch Motorsport manage to get a better restart this time, though? Will we see Danny G stick to the back of Josh Micklemore and manage to cut Danson out? Or will we see Danson get back into that second place? That's the big question now. That could be a race decider as well.
Could be a big make or break moment for Danson.
Danson is hungry. He wants this race win. Definitely looking for it, and he's definitely trying for it. But he's got a lot of work to do to get past Micklemore, another very experienced, very good driver. So it can be very hard out here, because we do say that Danson is one of, if not the fastest drivers out there, but it's not by much. And there are many drivers out there that are almost just as quick as him, or just as quick as him on some circuits, and it's not always a cakewalk for him. And often we do see it from Mitch Motorsport. They do offer him a bit of a challenge. If it's between Josh Micklemore and Jason Martin, they do really offer some challenges up for him. So it's not always a walkaway victory for him. Sometimes he gets up there quite quickly, but then those top guys he starts to struggle with, which is what you're sort of expecting to see, really.
And I know Matt has unfortunately been a bit disappointed in the last few races, as we are as drivers when we don't win or finish where we expect to finish.
Yes, racing drivers are some of the most delicate creatures in the world. They get very, very annoyed when they don't finish. A pretty normal thing for them. You have to be very careful around racing drivers. They are delicate little creatures, so they treat them kindly. But yeah, it is very much a thing of you go out there thinking, all right, I'm the best, I'm going to win this, and when you don't win it, when you are a bit off the pace, so you start questioning yourself, and there is very much that sort of head game that you have to play with yourself.
Yeah, it can be a very downhill spiral as a race car driver if you don't handle the mental side of it well.
Yes, and it is a lot of it is mental stuff as well. It is a big thing, and it can really affect the guys lower down in the field as well. And it's one of the things I do say to guys that are a bit lower down in the field: don't let it get to you that you're sitting in 20th to 30th place, because if you're newer in this oval racing, if you're newer to the sport, newer to the series, you're probably going to struggle a little bit because these guys have got a lot of experience. They are the veterans, you say, and it can make you feel like you're not that good. You're not as good as you thought you were. But when you do start racing a little bit more, you do race a little bit further, and you do start pushing yourself a little, start catching. And it's amazing how much of a turnaround you can get, especially if one of the drivers starts giving you a little bit of a hand, just telling you those little tricks to a corner. It can be something as simple as turning the wheel by a couple of degrees less into a corner makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's very to be very precise with all your moves and everything. Even though it may look like they're just going around in a big overpowered car on a circle, it's still very precise what we do out here as we see the lights go out in the pace car.
Absolutely, yeah. It is a precision sport. It's millimeters in it, and when you're racing side by side, there is only a millimeter gap. As pace car comes in, and Micklemore waits for it. Danson tries it. Micklemore gets a good jump, but Danson's got a very good start as well. Looks like Micklemore might just have a little bit more speed here down the back straight, or front straight even. And as they come into turn one, it looks like they've managed to keep Danny G a little bit closer this time round. So will Danny G manage to be that blocker? Will he manage to actually get into a position to stop him? No! Danson comes down and it's a very decisive move there. Really defensive cut down the front of Danny G there. And almost touching through the corner there, those two. They were so close together. Absolutely flying there. As Danson now goes to the inside line, it looks like he might have just Micklemore here.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get him through 3 and 4 there. That's why he cut down so hard on him. As we're seeing Dave Douglas now make a move on Denny G or get really close up behind him.
Yeah, good restart from Dave Douglas as well. He's got some serious pace in that car too. Really good job from those guys. Brilliant restarts. And yeah, very aggressive move from Danson there to get between the two teammates. He knew what they guys were trying to do, and he needed to stop it from happening, and he stopped it happening, well, in the best way he could. So great job from him.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more blocking down that back straight now and a lot more aggressive driving out of these drivers as we're closing in on the last couple laps here.
Yeah, last math's not working. You'll probably hear my brain ticking over there. Yeah, they're going very, 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 very close as Danson drops really far down the line to defend there, and that's going to just rub off a little bit of speed for himself and Micklemore, but they are really trying it right now. Micklemore's going to get a bit of a good run here, and he does. He's got a better run off the exit, and now that his teammate Danny G's down in there, oh, we got a big crash behind them. Hamish Gallagher involved in that one, and Jason Martin as well, I think. Jason Martin was involved in that one. Huge crash. Jason Martin goes flipping up over. Just have a look at it. Jason Martin just coming up there and going into Hamish Gallagher. Cutting up there, goes into Hamish Gallagher, spins himself around, and then the lapped car, one of the middle finger racing cars, goes underneath him, flips Martin up into the catch fencing and spins him right round. So yeah, huge crash there, and to say Jason Martin just making a bit of a mistake in that one and coming up a bit too quickly for Hamish Gallagher. So that's those two cars out of this one for today.
Yeah, a couple of drivers lucky to get away there in Bradley Ellison and the guys right behind them.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse for a fair few guys there. But yeah, that was a really big one. Question is now do you stop for tyres? We've only got 15 laps to go-ish.
Yes.
Yes. You know, are these front runners going to pit for tyres? And they do the feint, and no, they don't. And the cone gets knocked into the road. So we have got a loose cone on track. The poor cone boy is going to have to run out there and grab that. but they have not come in. So
Thought we might have seen drivers flinch there, to be honest, with
honestly, if I
how
was
bad the tyres fall off here.
yeah, if I was out there, I would have pinged that one for a try. I would have come in for some fresh tyres. Although there are quite a few cars on the lead lap. We've got 29 cars still on that lead lap. It'll drop to the back of that sort of that pack, but you're going to get through there quite quickly. You've got enough laps to do it as well. I'm surprised we didn't get as many people taking that option.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the restart comes now from Danson. He's had no pressure on the restarts all night. It's been Josh, so we'll see it now flipped around and see how they can do it.
See how they
As Dave Douglas is just lurking there in two, so if any of these guys make a little bobble or mistake, he's right there to capitalise on it.
Yep, as usual, Dave Douglas is just worked his way up there. It's a great drive for him. He's doing a fantastic job as always, getting up quite high in those positions, finishing in those top 10 spots as well. Something that he is, he's very well known for. In all honesty, Dave Douglas is one not to finish outside the top 10, so he's a very consistent driver.
And someone else who's made another good comeback is Mr. Skurlock there. He's done quite well to move up.
And Phil Otto, we've just he had a bit of a power issue, so power connection him out. Race for a bit. He's actually in the pit lane at the moment, but just been reported that he had a power issue. So unfortunately for Phil, that's a shame. Another driver taken out due to outside problems, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've had that same issue when we've had thunderstorms around. You get the power out on the last few laps, and not fun.
Nothing worse than things breaking when you're very close to the end or got a good lead. It's always the thing to happen, and it's always a frustrating thing to happen. Yeah, never fun when it happens. And yes, I've got to admit, I've had a few situations like that in my life, and a few very loud curse words have been thrown around in my vicinity.
You wouldn't swear now, would you, Carl?
Of course not. I'm an angel. Never swear. At least not on stream. So Danson does lead from Micklemore, and we have Danny G there behind them with Dave Douglas. Brett Gerardetz has managed to make up in good places and got himself back onto the 5th position. 6th, we have Michael Skurlock, a great recovery drive from Skurlock there. He almost got completely taken out of the race as he got spun early on. Jason Hartigan in 7th place, with Bradley Allison 8th. 9th, we have Riley Curtis, another great recovery driver that was caught up in an incident earlier on. Then James Robbie in 10th. So, good recovery drives out there tonight.
Yeah, there's been some really good recovery drivers from certain drivers out there tonight.
We've definitely seen some fantastic driving out. It's just some really good position gains. Even just looking at places gained, you've got Dave Douglas, who started 23rd, 4th. Riley Curtis, 37th, he started. And of course, Matt Danson, 38th. So, it shows that qualifying, it doesn't always matter, but it does help sometimes. Don't get involved in those wrecks. And pace cars come in, and Danson drops a hammer quickly and gets a brilliant restart there. He's pulled a fantastic lead straight away from the cars behind him.
Yeah, he's done the classic dance and walked away from it.
The dance has happened, and he has pulled away. Fantastic restart there. So everyone's going to have to start trying to catch him. That's the big thing now. It's hunting him down. Hunt down Danson.
We see Dave Douglas looking on the outside of Denny G there.
And
they
a bit
touch.
of contact. Bit of contact there between the two. And that nearly went very bad. Douglas almost going up into the wall, but he managed to keep a hold of it. A bit of damage to the inside, the right side of Danny G's car as well. But these guys are starting to get a bit racy at the front, aren't they?
Yeah, we're seeing them move all over the place, trying to block and trying to get under each.
And especially on these older tyres, it's not going to be helping them out for these moves because you're going to start getting very slippery out there for these guys. And the more you're moving around, the worse it gets on the car as Douglas goes very high into the first corner. And we've got a bit of a crash behind us. There is a big crash back down the grid with Michael Schroeder. So, Schroeder. So a huge crash there for Schroeder. And that is actually the race finish because we've gone to the timing point, I think. But yeah, the race is done. We actually missed out there, but that is a win for Matt Danson because we've gone time certain. So the hybrid racing simulations white flag lap. Sorry, all of us missed that one because we didn't realise what the time was. But yeah, the race has gone for time, not for laps this time round. And your winner is Matt Danson, Josh Micklemore, and Danny G in third place.
Yeah, really good drive from all those guys. Unfortunate that Dave didn't get his chance to shine, and there was a few drivers there that could have had a bit of a better run if we had a bit more time, I think.
Absolutely. So, quickly go through the finishing order. So, obviously, Matt Danson gets the win with Josh Micklemore in second, Danny G third, fourth we have Dave Douglas, fifth we have Michael Skurlock, sixth we have Bradley Allison, seventh Brett Gerditz, 8th, Riley Curtis. 9th was Jason Hartigan. 12th was 10th was James Robbie. 11th was Barry Neal. 12th was Matthew Cluett. 13th was Stephen Williams. 14th was Chris Purnell. Edward Foster down there in 15th. 16th was Matt Hunter. 17th, Nathan Clark. Anton Smith, 18th. 19th, Michael Schroeder. 20th, Mirko Dortlack with Kai Sloggett in 21st. 22nd was Tristan Koch with 23rd, Paul Jackson. Hamish Gallagher in 24th with Raymond Diego 25th. Robert Fletcher 26th with Aaron Mack 27th. 28th is Norman Clark with Phil Otto behind him. 30th we have Bradley Kemp with Jason Martin. Daniel Stevens 32nd with Ryan DeCarthy MacArthur in 33rd. Mia Ott, sorry, I keep wanting to go Otto on that one. Mia Ott in 34th position with Lachlan in 35th, sorry. Lindsay Hobbs in 36th, Ryan Jones 37th, and rounding us out is Matt Danson taking the win there on time. So yeah, big race there, quite a long one as well. In all honesty, that was a bit of a longer race than normal, just with those cautions.
Always with those cautions, they hold you up a bit longer, and some races, then end up going time certain, as we saw there tonight.
Yeah, I do apologise for viewers. We didn't notice that one. As we looked up, we must have missed. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the end of Texas. We bring up for good finishes there, and obviously there was some serious racing going on, but we had some great racing at the front while we had some green flag.
Like some really guys.
Drivers to shuffle into the green room and get ready to chat. But yeah, Matt Danson again just put on a.
Yeah, he's always out there putting on his best show, and that's why I guess he won the Triple Crown last year.
Yeah, he's just a very talented young boy, and very, very good at what he does. But Josh Micklemore did a fantastic battle against him, really fought him off, did a hard fight against him. So, again, great drive for Micklemore, and also Danny G as well, very consistent for him, third place. So which motorsport drivers have been in that sort of top three all year round? So what I might do is just grab Matt Danson down from the Danson. Carl Withy here is Simshed Broadcasting for the Abruzzi ANZCAR Cup. How are you going? Jolly good, jolly good. Well, congratulations on a race win. So obviously your trick of starting from the back and coming up has worked well for you again. Just some serious pace out there again for you tonight.
Yeah, it was interesting. I driving through there, and there was some questionable sort of stuff happening here and there, which got me a bit heated for a while. But once I calmed down, I was able to keep moving forward and had enough speed to sort of be there and battling at the front. But it was just like a giant parachute on the on the front of the car. So as soon as I was out in front of Josh and I had no draft, I was in big trouble.
Yeah, we did notice the damage on the car, so that happened.
Yeah, I was just cruising at that point in time, just sort of making my way through. I think I'd passed about 20 cars at that stage, just like 10 laps or something. But um, I was just on the inside into turn 3, and the dude just takes a hard left down into my side. I don't know what he was thinking, and then I let him know. I didn't wreck him, but I let him know that I was upset. And sort of regrouped from there. And the only thing that's sort of sticking with me now is obviously just and I've just been looking back at the contact with Skurlock. Obviously, you never want to get into anyone, especially someone who's friend. At the time, like from my driver's seat, it felt like he like I was pretty clearly showing my nose, and he turned down. But I could, it's kind of touch and go. I mean, yeah, I feel like if you try and block that late, it's a bit risky. But at the same time, I don't know, probably 60-40 maybe on me, I guess.
Bit of a racing incident, that one. It's one of those things that's just such a small gap between those sort of moves. We saw you actually go between Danny G and Josh Micklemore, and there was just a hair's width between you guys there. And when you're racing this close, sometimes those little mistakes do happen. And it's always unfortunate when it does happen. But when it doesn't happen, it's very, very fun to watch.
True. I mean, it's a tricky track, this one, because it's got a similar shape on the front stretch area to Atlanta, but you don't, at Atlanta, everyone drifts out because you can't take that shallow entrance. But here, people cut down through the dogleg sort of area. So it's tough. But yeah, so I feel a bit bad for that. I'll watch that a couple of hundred more times and see if I can make a case for myself. But it was fun.
Yeah, well, look, it was a good watch getting you up there as well. One of the big things just have to ask as well is, do you feel like your just your natural ability to give a little bit has helped you in that?
I think so, because I mean, with the damage, it was making it really hard because I had a way less turn mid corner, so I sort of just had to try and rely on um, having slightly better tire life, getting a bit more out of them. I think I probably was still, because of the damage, using my right front a bit more than I would have liked, but I mean, there was that many cautions at the end. I don't think it mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was, I don't know what that would have looked like on the broadcast, but it was a bit disappointing considering all the you know warnings, and everyone's been spoken to. They all know what's up. But I mean, then again, I did turn Skurlock, so I can't really talk. But um, yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, sometimes these things do happen, and it was a bit of a. There were a few situations out there where I think people were just struggling with tires a bit, and things just didn't go their way, unfortunately. But it did for you. So, other than the Skurlock gate, we'll skip past that. But it was a very good race for you there. And before I let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out for tonight?
Yeah, I'll get a couple of shout outs. What would you say, Carl? Do you reckon we blame Skurlock on that?
Oh, look, I can't take stances. I have to be a neutral party.
I'll take that as a yes. That's good. That's all I need. Shout outs. We'll give a shout out to Horizon Racing Team, my boys there. So thanks to them just for their tender love and care as always. Shout out to Vegan Food Melbourne, of course. Matt Danson 30. Get around that on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those medias. And yeah, about it. You guys, actually, you guys for doing the broadcast, of course, ANZCAR and all that sort of thing. Obviously, it's sometimes frustrating with some of the yellows and things like that. But I guess especially in a time like this, when it's looking pretty grim, sort of all over the world, but things are locking down, all that sort of thing. It's nice that we can come together and have a bit of fun on a weeknight and just forget about those sorts of dramas.
Some form of normality in our life. That is what. Thank you so much, Matt, and we'll see you up in the booth again in
Right.
Racing. The winner of the race. Again, just fantastic as always. Just very clean. So good at keeping pace even with that damage. He just managed to keep. Okay, so I'm going to go down our second place man. Josh Micklemore, Carl Withy here for Simshed Racing, Simshed Broadcasting, sorry. And congratulations on your second place finish.
Yeah, cheers, mate. We one down from where I could have finished, but
Yeah, look, you were having a fantastic race out there tonight. You managed to keep dancing behind for a seriously long time, and you guys seem to have a pretty well-controlled race out there. Of course, yourself and Danny G, and also and also Jason Martin as well, your teammate. You were pretty much running in the top 5 nearly all race long there. Pretty strong showing again, and this is just going to help your championship standings. Of course, you're going to jump back at the top of the table, I think. But second place, obviously not what you wanted, but great showing out there anyway. You seem to have the speed all night.
yeah, they dialed in real well all race. Yeah, do with it at all, but yeah, lap 140 hit a bump that I haven't hit for 140 laps on the entry of 3, and that pushed me, or made the car a bit tighter and made me push up the track, and that's how. Yeah, unfortunate. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, you gave us a masterclass in defending that race while it was green. So we thank you for that, giving us some entertainment up here. Other than that little bump moment, though, you really were pushing hard on those positionings and things like that. It must be good to sort of feel you have the better of somebody like dancing on those moments when you can defend.
Yeah, he's a tough racer. He races a lot of the American stuff, and he's in the Pro Series, getting in for the Pro Series. To racing like that up against someone that's doing all that in the last months, and yeah, you got to hold your head high for that.
And the finish was 0.06 off the first place there, so it was definitely a close finish. Honestly, really good job for you guys out there tonight. You're having a very consistent season, though. You guys have really been putting in seriously good finishes at Mitch Motorsport. Not only in the Cup series you've been having races. You're feeling you guys as a team are working quite well now?
Oh yeah, last year was sort of started a new team. Yeah, this year was a bit of a tough start, but yeah, we're starting to get all the nuts and bolts together again now, and we're wanted from the start. So.
Yeah, it's good to see, and you definitely good stuff out there. Just on the restarts, I just wanted to ask: when you had Danny G behind you, were you guys working to try and get started together to try and block Danson out there, or were you just sort of just not sort of talking too much and just hoping the other one got the jump?
There's something that Danson was doing that we picked up that haven't been doing starts.
Interesting.
We picked something.
Yep, of course.
But yeah,
Awesome. Well, look, we look forward to seeing you back up here in the booth, and sure it will happen. Of course, with Bristol next time out, a very different track to what we've got here. How are you feeling for your chances
there? Bristol, I've had some really good I've had some really good NIS NASCAR series races there, and I've had some bad ones where I just get. There we go. Just run the fence and hold it flat and see how we go.
Hopefully the better 50% will take over this season for you, and we'll see you up in the box again soon. Before I let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Jason for putting in the hard work as per normal for it. Feeding in BK Times for back in this year. For putting in guys for
You're more than welcome.
Also JP Sim.
Thank you so much, Josh, and I'm sure we'll see you up in the booth.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers.
For Mitch, and we'll grab it down here. Danny G now. Danny G, Carl Withy here for Sim Broadcasting. Congratulations on the place finish. Not bad, not bad. So, from your standpoint, how was that race? Yeah, we did finish on timing tonight rather than laps, so that threw us out a little bit. So it doesn't take much to confuse us up in the commentary box, and that managed to confuse us. But congratulations on that third place. You had some good speed as well in qualifying. You guys left it very late to go out qualifying. We noticed. Waited till that a strategic call. Seemed to help out because you guys did pretty much lock out the top two rows and then up to fifth place with yourself. Yeah, fifth place. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, it didn't work out too badly for you. So obviously, bit of useful information there for everybody else. Look at the clouds there in future. But yeah, you definitely had some serious speed out there tonight. All three of you, in fact, all three of the Mitch. You must be pretty happy with all these podiums you got. Look, I'm sure it will come sometime this season. With your form, it's been very good so far, so I'm sure we'll bring you up in the box first time out sometime this season. Oh.
Yeah,
you better. You have to do it for me now. So before I let you go, anyone who'd like to give a shout out for tonight?
Yeah, just a drop.
More than welcome, and thank you for giving fighting action out on the track. We couldn't do it without you guys. For Sports third place. So yeah, that's the end of Texas. Jono, what were your thoughts on that race?
Quite there at certain points and very one-lined. Got exciting towards the end. Unfortunate that it went time certain, but that's how things happen sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of quite a few cautions towards the end there, which it can happen at some of these tracks, and especially when people are pushing very hard, which we've had happen here. It can absolutely happen. Yeah, a bit of a shame, but yeah, another just door up and drive from Danson. But Mitch Motorsport are definitely starting to get his number. As Josh Mickle, they noticed something on the start, so we might see something interesting happen next time out. So next time out, we are in Dover. Come and watch that with us on Bristol. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. April the 2nd, so next Thursday, we'll be out at Bristol. So before we leave, any last words, Johnny?
As always, we just want to thank all our viewers and any new. So thank you guys, and that's all from me.
Yeah, and thank you ever so much to all our new viewers. And remember, during the week, we will have a couple of other series on, so make sure to subscribe to the channel because we do have other racing series on. The Jinx words now. The Jinx Super Series, which is the V8 series, as well as a couple of other events through the weeks. So join up to the channel if you don't want to make sure you don't miss those. But other than that, we're all done for tonight. So I'll say good night, Texas. See you again soon. Bye bye.